Last night, we saw bombshell reporting that Jeffrey Epstein's own brother said that if the truth of his relationship with Donald Trump came out, it would have ended the last election. It would have had to be canceled. The information was so damaging. But it didn't stop there, because Jeffrey Epstein's brother is out with another bombshell, going public with footage of Trump and Epstein that has been hidden for decades. We are going to get into it all and what it means for Trump. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button, because it goes a long way in supporting our work. Now, right now, Donald Trump is doing everything he possibly can to distract, and a move that he made last night ultimately backfired on him. So before we get into how Trump and his associates failed to cover up this footage, I want to start with how he was trying to distract. Last night on Truth Social, Donald Trump wrote, "Everybody should watch Sean Hannity tonight," and then what we saw was Tulsi Gabbard offering up a new crazed Obama conspiracy.
Now, to me, it sounds like you have appointed, powerful bureaucrats that just flat out created a narrative that was false to undermine a duly elected president. Now, if that's not a grand conspiracy, I don't know what would be. Do you see crimes here?
I do, Sean, and I'm referring all of these documents that we have found and uncovered, referring them to the Department of Justice for further investigation, accountability, and action, not just investigation, but action. Accountability has to take place. The American people's ability to have faith and trust in the integrity of our democratic republic is literally what's at stake, and therefore the future of our ability to exist as the country that we know it.
So Donald Trump is trying to throw some red meat to the base, get them back on his side, say, no, this is all Obama and Russia and hoax and Hillary and Comey and Clinton and Biden and Otto Penn and any other buzzword he could possibly come up with to just distract them, get them fired up, get them angry, get them focused on something else. But Donald Trump actually posted this morning admitting that it didn't work and that MAGA will never be satisfied, as he clearly understands he cannot distract them because they are actually focused on the betrayal of their president. But it's not just Trump who has been a part of betraying MAGA, because Jeffrey Epstein's brother, in his bombshell allegation against Donald Trump and his hidden tapes, actually looped in another one of Trump's associates. And this context about his involvement with the Epstein files is equally important. Elon Musk accuses Steve Bannon of being in the Epstein files in X post to Roger Stone. The feud between Donald Trump and Elon Musk back with a vengeance, and the X owner seems to be enjoying the MAGA outrage at the White House over the Epstein files, tweeting up a storm Tuesday and lobbing an accusation at a key ally of the president. What was once a bromance, of course, is cracked over Donald Trump's one big beautiful bill, while Pam Bondi is trying to cover up the Epstein files. Years of conspiracy-infused accusations about the convicted trafficker's purported client list and other damaging information he and his accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell supposedly knew about powerful men, fueled by promises from people now in very high positions in the Trump administration, is driving MAGA crazy. Former Trump advisor Steve Bannon has had a rocky relationship at times with the president, but has been a staunch ally recently, undoubtedly due in small part to the last-minute pardon Trump issued at the end of his first term for Steve Bannon's wall scheme. Over the years, it has been reported that Bannon advised Epstein on how to respond to allegations against him, providing media training and record hours of video footage with Epstein for a documentary that has never been released. Musk took aim at these facts Tuesday, replying to an X post by Roger Stone, another beneficiary of Trump pardons, that mentioned Bannon's repeated meetings and coaching sessions with Epstein. "Bannon is in the Epstein files," Musk replied. Everyone that was around Donald Trump had some connection to Jeffrey Epstein, it seems. Bill Barr had a connection to Jeffrey Epstein. Donald Trump's Secretary of Labor in his first administration helped Epstein get off with the easiest deal possible. And now the Steve Bannon connection is raising eyebrows once again because of how close the training that he gave with Epstein, much like he gave to Trump, on how to deflect and push the media in different directions and distract. Well, it is now all coming back because of these connections and what it means for what Trump and Bannon have been hiding, and that bombshell came from Jeffrey Epstein's brother. Epstein's brother demands Steve Bannon's secret footage. Jeffrey Epstein's brother is demanding to see the 15 hours of unreleased footage that Steve Bannon has of Jeffrey Epstein. "Let me see the videotapes," Mark Epstein said in an interview with NBC News. "He's my brother." The footage was recorded in 2019 before Epstein's arrest on sex trafficking charges later that year for a documentary that is yet to see the light of day titled "The Monsters to Epstein's Life Among the Global Elite." A teaser for the documentary, obtained and published exclusively by the New York Post in 2021, showed Bannon, Trump's confidant, a Republican strategist and MAGA media figure, confronting Jeffrey Epstein about all of the depravity you've done against young women. "No, I've always believed that women will in fact, be able to take over," said Epstein, who died in his prison cell in 2019. The offender also claimed in the clip that he was a firm believer and supporter of the anti-sexual harassment movement Time's Up. Mark Epstein told NBC Friday that Bannon told me he has like 15 or 16 hours of videotape of Jeff. He was trying to help Jeff rehabilitate his reputation. He said that he was told this when he met Bannon after his brother's death. They spent a lot of time together, Mark Epstein added, referring to his brother and Bannon. Since his brother died in August 2019, Mark Epstein has pushed back on the official suicide ruling that he had endorsed the conspiracy theory that his brother was murdered. Earlier this month, he addressed the FBI's memo denying that his brother was murdered, telling Fox that it was stupid. So Elon Musk, who made the original bombshell accusation against Donald Trump, has also said the same of Steve Bannon, is now made it very clear, as all of these things are connected, that this footage was likely in the Epstein files. It was Steve Bannon's connection. That is what Musk was claiming when he said Bannon was in the Epstein files. So we have these hours and hours of tape that the brother of Jeffrey Epstein is demanding to be released, that Steve Bannon, who is trying to protect Donald Trump right now and clearly himself, doesn't want to make public? Why? And again, this was back in 2019. Who was president in 2019? Who was president when Steve Bannon, a close ally of Donald Trump, was helping Jeffrey Epstein to rehabilitate his image? Why would he want to do that for Jeffrey Epstein while Donald Trump, his buddy, was president? Why is MAGA not focusing on anything that happened in 2019? That's what I don't get. They want to create a conspiracy around Obama, but not the actual person who was president, who had a reason to want to get rid of Jeffrey Epstein. And it's important to note that these files, these videotapes of Bannon's, are likely in the Epstein files, considering what has recently come out about how the FBI was making sure anytime Trump's name came up, it was flagged. And we saw more of that from Chris Hayes right here.
Good evening from New York. I'm Chris Hayes. Donald Trump is doing his best to fight his way out of the Jeffrey Epstein mess he has created for himself. Tonight, filing a lawsuit against the Wall Street Journal and News Corp and Rupert Murdoch himself for their report of his alleged birthday letter to Epstein. This while his Department of Justice scrambles to kinda appear to release some of the Epstein files in an effort, obviously, to placate his agitated MAGA base. We're going to get to the lawsuit in a minute. But first, the Department of Justice filed a motion to unseal grand jury information from both the case of late child sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein and his associate, currently in federal prison, Ghislaine Maxwell. On its face, it appears to be a good thing because people want transparency. They want the files released. But there's a huge caveat here. Not only is the department going to redact identifying information about the victims, which they very well should, they are also going to redact identifying information about anyone else whose name might come up in the documents in question. Quote, the department will work with the United States Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York to make appropriate redactions of victim-related information and other personal identifying information prior to releasing the transcripts. Obviously, all victim-related information absolutely must be redacted. But also, why redact the other personal identifying information? I mean, if you are trying to look like you're transparent, avoid looking like you're covering something up, that seems like probably not the best way to go about it. But that is not the only big revelation we got today. The top Democrat on the Senate Judiciary Committee, which of course oversees the FBI and the Department of Justice, now says that Bureau agents were instructed to flag to DOJ about any Epstein records that mentioned Donald Trump. Get this is a new letter out today to Attorney General Pam Bondi from Ranking Member Dick Durbin, who writes this, quote, according to information my office received, you pressured the FBI to put approximately 1,000 personnel in its information management division on 24-hour shifts to review approximately 100,000 Epstein-related records, adding, quote, my office was told these personnel were instructed to flag any records in which President Trump was mentioned. What? And all this comes just a day after that shocking story in the Wall Street Journal about what the paper described as a, quote, bawdy birthday letter bearing Trump's signature written to Epstein back in 2003 before his first arrest. Quoting from the Journal's description, the letter bearing Trump's name, which was reviewed by the Journal, is bawdy, like others in the album. It contains several lines of typewritten text framed by the outline of a naked woman, which appears to be hand-drawn with a heavy marker. A pair of small arcs denotes the woman's breasts, and the future president's signature is a squiggly Donald below her waist, mimicking pubic hair. The Journal says that inside the outline of the naked woman was an imaginary typewritten conversation between Trump and Epstein, the third person, which included this line, Donald, enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? And ended with Trump. A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. What's more, the document in question was at one point in possession of the DOJ, or at the very least, it was something reviewed by Department of Justice investigators in their prosecutions of Epstein and/or his accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell. To be clear, Trump denies having anything to do with the letter. He is suing the Wall Street Journal over this reporting after having threatened to do so. Quoting from the paper, in an interview with the Journal on Tuesday evening, Trump denied writing the letter or drawing the picture. This is not me. This is a fake thing. It's a fake Wall Street Journal story, he said. I never wrote a picture in my life. I don't draw pictures of women, he said. It's not my language. It's not my words. Of course, Donald Trump has written many pictures in his life, like the ones you are seeing on your screen right now. In fact, people have been surfacing these pictures all day. It seems to be kind of like a thing he's into, actually.
So they were doing anything possible in the FBI to make sure that Donald Trump, when his name came up, it was hidden. Could that have included this footage? I think so. And I think Bannon should probably release it. And we're going to keep talking about it on this show. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video. And if you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.